Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on the show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits.
Tell me when you're ready. Tell me when you're ready.
That elbow moving? Or can we just hold on to our knee? I don't know. Give it all you got. I want you to give up. Why is this so hard? Why can't I just easily? I thought it would be easy.
It hasn't gone all the way yet.
It's not easy. And I thought it would be. It should be.
Come on, Karen, get him.
Ready? It's not easy. I just feel.
I used to be
Is it still going?
church.
It should be easier than this. He won't beat me, I know that. But will I beat
I
you?
can try.
I'm not really
if you
good
ever
at
start.
Johnny's good at this. I'm Johnny Rooster, he's Johnny. Come on.
I feel bad for you, so I'll let you have it.
This is Johnny Rooster. We're going to give away a Village Inn pie from the Village Inn in Ozark. This one's a chocolate silk pie. We got the winner as Alex Harrison. He's the pastor of the First Oldfield Full Gospel Church. He won on the Johnny Rooster Morning Mouth Show. Let's go see him. He's hiding out here at Salvatore's. We're going to find him and make his life better. Look at you. Thank you.
Ozark, you don't have to.
Do it good.
Where is that boy?
Bring it.
There he is. You see him? He's all the way in the back. By himself. Thank you.
With Village Inn Dessert. We're doing this because we want to help people and we like to give. And this is Alex. He's over at the First Oldfield Full Gospel Church. Come by Wednesday night or Sunday morning or Sunday evening because they still do Sunday evening. Some people don't. Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
The only reason you're getting this is because you had the decency to pick up your phone and everybody else let it go to voicemail.
Woo, Alex. Yay.
Have a good evening.
Hello, everybody. It's Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I'm Johnny Rooster, your host. It's Morning Mouth on Acts Media Group, and I've got Carol Throckmorton today.
Hello, how are you?
Carol is no stranger to this facility. She came here last Saturday for an arm wrestling match. You may recall Johnny Rooster versus Terry Williams. She is a female bodybuilder, a mother of two, and unfortunately, a situation happened with her.
Yeah.
So she had a tear in her esophagus. That was a previous issue. It happened again. And that's why she wasn't here. I was kind of saying, where is she? What's up? Now I know she was in the hospital, which I feel bad.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of people praying for her now. Terry Williams, reach out to her in prayer and get her healed because her dream is to be a bodybuilder, and to get pro card bodybuilder status, you have to train daily, and she has been, but having a tear is not going to help that at all because it's a second time.
Yeah.
I don't know. So we'll find out. And meanwhile, as you saw a video right before this one, I was arm wrestling a girl from high school. It's always women because I'm not as strong as I pretend to be. I go up against men. I went up against my friend's husband, Scott. He and I were high school buddies as well. He's older than I am. He beat me in like 2 seconds, was it? 3, maybe 4. It might have been 4 seconds.
I seem to recall you arm wrestling a 72-year-old.
I don't even want to hear about it.
Yeah.
It's shameful. A 72-year-old man. I thought, no problemo. This was last Saturday when I was scheduled to arm wrestle Terry, and when she wasn't there, I was like, hey, how about you? I'm thinking I'm gonna win. I didn't. Oh, of course, he didn't beat me, but I didn't beat him.
It was a draw.
I'm 55, he's 72.
Yeah.
Now, Carol, she's not as young as I am either, and she's still, I could hardly pin her. I'm off. I need to get some rhythm. I need to get some momentum.
I think you need a Village Inn pie.
So Village
Maybe
Inn,
that would help.
Speaking of Village Inn pie, good segue.
All right.
They are providing 2 pies a month from Ozark Village Inn. So if you're out there and you have a business and you'd like to donate an item from your business, that's a perfect way to get recognized. So Village Inn Ozark, by the way, we celebrate Free Pie Wednesday at the Village Inn.
That's right.
And we're part of a business network called Courageous Business Connect.
Yeah.
So, Carol, we're going to hear about next level communication.
Yep.
We can see it on the screen, a phone number there. A good thing to remember is this is about personality, so we're going to go into that. And if people have different personalities, and they do,
Or multiples.
then yes.
Some we know.
I've taken different tests, and different ones are broken down in different ways.
Yes.
Are they all the same thing? And some things are talking about Enneagram.
The Enneagram is a little different. It's a
a
little more complicated.
Yes.
Yes.
So things get really specific.
Yes.
I feel like they all come back to 4 basic
Basics.
personality types.
Yes.
But do we use that as an excuse? Or do we, let's go over the 4 basic personality types for people and then help them understand why it's important instead of just using it as an excuse to say that's the way I am.
Absolutely.
Because I like to do that. Maybe that's my
Yes.
personality type.
No, that's everybody. That's everybody.
And one of my people said she didn't want to take the test. Is that a personality type? I'm not taking that personality test.
Yeah,
So
yes,
how
it
do you
is.
define them if they won't take the test?
Well, that kind of pretty much earmarks a little bit. Yes.
Well, you got 4.
4 basics in what I'm doing in the DISC system. A lot of people are familiar with that. DISC, and that denotes each one of the 4 dominant personality styles. Now, this is what I like to tell people. We are a created being by intelligent design. We are not simple. We are very complex. And that means a lot of things roll into that in your personality. And it's not just about personality, it's about your behavioral styles. This is rooted and grounded in both psychology and science. The ancient Greeks designed or designated 4 different personality types. It dates back that far. Some of the people that are watching might know about the phlegmatic, the sanguine, the choleric, the melancholic.
That's the one I learned first.
Okay, exactly.
Back in the 1980s, that's the first time I heard about it.
And that dates all the way back to ancient Greece.
Well, I didn't have to run a marathon naked to discover that.
No, you didn't.
Like the Greeks.
Or in a toga, yeah.
Yeah, it's so strange. And
No,
then the laurel wreath.
But I could see you doing that.
But you could. And
that's
there's
because of
probably,
your behavior style.
Yes. There's a personality out there there's 4 personalities, then there's the Rooster personality.
There you go.
Created a subcategory.
Exactly.
Carol, you're with Next Level Communication. Tell us how that works and what you offer people. If they were asking a question on a search online,
Okay.
what would the question be that you get asked?
They will probably go searching for that personality behavior assessment.
So how would they ask that question? Because I would put that in a question form.
Put it in a question
Like,
form.
how do I is what a lot of people type, or where do I? And
Yeah.
they want to find something.
Yeah, what is my basic personality
Yeah, what
type?
is my basic personality type? So if you're the person that's asking the question, what is my basic personality type? Why would they want to know?
I think a lot of people want some more enlightenment, and you want self-recognition. I want to understand myself, because if I don't understand myself, how can I understand anybody? How could I ever understand you?
How could anybody understand me?
Exactly. But I need to understand myself first. And one of the key things, and this is where I take a little bit different slant on this than maybe other coaches do. I want you to understand your worth.
Yes.
That's what I want to understand about myself. And
Yes.
that is something that I have struggled with many, many, many years. is being able to understand my worth. And if I can understand how God created me as an individual and how he created me to function in this body of humanity, to be able to relate stories and love and grace and mercy and connection with other human beings, then I understand how much he values me and why I'm here. Now that I can see my self-worth, I can see the self-worth. I can see the worth in other people as well.
Okay,
that's-
so you're beginning, did you start a company about this process, or is there something more to next level communication?
A next level, not only do I do the personality, the DISC style, but I am also certified to train, test, and coach in emotional intelligence, in something called Motivators, 7 different motivators that you have in your life, and also something called critical thinking.
So the first thing is emotional intelligence.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. What is emotional intelligence?
Emotional intelligence, most people would think, emotions, no, I don't want to, no. We're not talking about crying, screaming, hollering,
It's not your
throwing
IQ
fits.
of how smart your emotions are.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yes, it is. It's
so if my emotions aren't very
absolutely-
smart, then I need to improve.
But yes.
Okay, I can go to school to improve my emotions.
You can. You
Okay, this
absolutely
is where
can.
I am. Today I'm in class. This is the teacher, Carol Throckmorton. I'm going to learn how to improve my emotional intelligence because I can tell you right now, I need to improve it.
Yes, yes. Most
And she agrees
men
quickly.
do. Most men do.
The previous show talked about what not to say to women, and there's two guys,
I should have been on before
Matt
that.
and Jay, and they were really realizing some
Yes.
things you don't say to women.
Yes, absolutely.
So we need help.
Okay, well, emotional
Help me.
intelligence is about help me, Rhonda. I'm sorry, no.
Emotional
Yeah.
intelligence.
The emotional intelligence is based off of 4 and measures 4 different areas. That is your self-recognition, first of all, then your self-actualization or self-management. Then it goes into social recognition and social management.
So if you're putting this up on the screen, it'd be 4 different things with
4
lots of big words attached to it.
Yes, yes. And basically all
Are
it
they,
is...
is that a specific order? Is that a,
Yes, you need you've got to do the self-recognition
First.
first and then the self-management. If I don't understand what's driving me, what's creating emotion and emotional connection with someone else, if I don't understand that about myself and then be able to manage that, to rein that in, because as we know, it's either going to control us or we're going to control it.
Okay, so let's do a little, for the Johnny Rooster show, we're
Okay.
going to do, can you assess some things about me that I already am aware of?
Yes.
And you're using self-awareness, is that the first
Yes,
one?
yeah,
And then
yeah,
you start
self-recognition.
recognizing,
Yeah, yeah.
actualizing.
Yes, yes.
Okay, the awareness that I have is on your DISC formula, DISC. There's a D, and that's more of a dominant personality.
yes,
That's why I remember the letter D.
Yes, yes.
The I is outgoing and
An
kind of
influencer.
a influencer. That's why it's an I. So I feel like that would be my primary, would be the dominant, and the secondary would be the influencer. That's how I feel like I'm wired based on the things I've studied.
That sounds pretty accurate from what I
So
know.
I'm a task-oriented person that likes to have fun.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I like to get it done and have fun while doing it.
Yep, yeah. Now, let me
I charge ahead without thinking.
exactly. Now let me present something
Blah,
to
blah,
you.
blah. Go ahead.
Bring it.
Go ahead, wise one.
Listen to what you just said. If
Okay.
you're a D and an I,
All
and
right.
I'm an I and a D.
Okay.
Okay. So that means
You're more fun than I am.
I'm a little more,
A little
more
bit
yeah, a
more.
little.
Okay.
That means that there's a part of you that is really focused on the task.
Yes.
And then there's a part of you that's focused on people.
Uh-huh.
Do you see where that's going to cause conflict
Absolutely.
inside of you?
Constantly.
Absolutely.
I'm in constant upheaval. I'm
You-
like, why am
yes.
I so people
You're in
and
flux.
task oriented? I really like
Yeah.
to get it done.
Yeah.
Get out of my way. I like you.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's have
Which
fun.
sends mixed signals to everyone.
It
and
really
it's like,
weirds them out.
yeah, exactly. Who is this
Thank
person?
you. Please help me.
Multiple personalities.
This is therapeutic for me. Okay.
So yeah, that's great that you know that. That's part of that. That is absolutely part of that first part of the emotional intelligence. You've recognized who I am and what drives me and the things that motivate me, but I've also recognized that in that mix of those things, there's conflict there inside of me. So now how do I manage that? What do I do with that on a daily basis? How would you, when you
Yeah.
are, because you're involved in lots of.
I'm walking through this. This is real
Yeah.
world, so.
You are involved in lots of networking groups, right?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
trying to, well, I'm connecting with people frequently.
Yes, you are in lots of different areas. So when you're there, there's something driving you that I personality, you're on.
Yes.
Right? Okay, you're on. You're playing that role. At the end of the day, when you go home, how do you feel?
I'm still, well, I'm exhausted.
His wife is sitting over there. You're exhausted. And you know why? Because that's not your dominant. Your dominant really wants to say, hey, I need a task before me and something to do, but I realize that I'm over here playing this role, and so there's an energy drain, an energy suck on you within the day, and you do go home exhausted. I bet you go home and say, I don't want to see another person.
Right. I'm trying to get away from everybody.
Yes, absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I really like it when I'm with them.
Exactly. And then you don't understand. What's wrong with me?
So now what?
That's why.
Now I'm going to the now that's why. Is there something that is emotionally intelligent to reply to that?
Yeah, yes. That first part is that recognition, just the fact
Okay.
that you know that about yourself. This is my catchphrase: knowing is half the battle.
Okay.
My kids used to watch the G.I. Joe cartoon that
Okay.
came on, and at the end of every show, they had a moral to the story, and it
Okay.
was always knowing is half the battle.
I thought Jerry Springer had a moral at the end. He's like, say,
Jerry Springer and moral
say-
doesn't go
I know,
together.
It's like, let's make sense of this. You can't,
No,
Jerry.
no,
You can't.
no. But you've got the first part down. Now
Okay.
the second part of that, it's only half the battle. So what do I do with all that stuff that I know? Now, if you know that you're going to come home at the end of the day after you've been with all these people and
Yes.
it has really drained you and I don't want to talk to anybody, you're going to have to put some things in place to say, I know that about myself.
Okay.
I need to decompress. Now, whatever that means to you, however that can happen, I need my decompression place. I love to go sit by Lake Springfield.
Cool.
I just go sit and look
Yeah,
at the water.
yeah.
That's my thing.
Right.
A lot of times you can't do that, but you're going to go home.
Well, if
Uh,
Lake Springfield's not nearby. It's a
That's
little-
true. That's
little
true
more
for you.
awkward.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But you need to relate that to your family, and your family needs to know that about you. To say, okay, we need to give him some decompression time because he has just drained everything out of him to
Yep.
play those two roles and to go
I'll
against his
sometimes
dominant.
snap and become a grouch if
Absolutely.
I don't get.
Yes. So if you can do that and say, okay, just leave me alone for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to go sit, whatever that is. I love to sit and listen to praise and worship music. That's another build for me. So whatever it is that you can
Okay.
find to
All right.
replace that energy.
Okay.
But
That's
give yourself
good.
that time, but let your family know that as well.
Okay.
Because they need that information.
Yes.
That comes into the social recognition.
Okay.
You've just done the self-recognition and the self-management.
Okay.
But now you've just turned it into the social recognition and
Oh.
the social management part.
And that's
of
where
it.
you let others know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
your need is.
Yes, what your
or
needs
what
are.
you're supposed to.
But also knowing that what you're going to, those emotions and things that you're going through are going to affect the other people in your
Yes.
life. And so I need to manage all of that.
Okay.
How do I manage that? So that's what a part of this. The emotional intelligence in the business world has actually surpassed what companies are looking for in IQ, in just intelligence.
Okay. It matters more than the.
It matters more than just the smarts.
Yes.
Time Magazine in November, I believe it was, did a whole special issue that is nothing but on emotions.
Okay.
And the articles that are in there are wonderful. They kind of go along with this, but it gets more into the psychology and the neurology behind all of that.
Well, take a drink if you need to, but I'm aware of my environment. That's one thing I'd
Yes.
like to know is, guys, is the audio good? You know, that's what I like to say. And if
Yeah.
they hear it, they hear it. If they don't, I want to make sure things are physically right in the
Right.
environment.
Right.
But people watching and listening to this are going to want to know what are the 4 personality types if they don't know, and how can I access them or evaluate myself better.
Okay.
And so DISC.
Okay. D is the dominant. You've already said that. I would be the influencers. S is steady, and C is cautious. Now, those are based off two really, really simple things.
They seem very simplified.
They do. And there is a very simple way to kind of peg yourself or someone else without having to go through the testing. It's not as comprehensive as taking the test. but it's based off of pace and priority. So pace is the speed with which you do everything, how fast you talk, how fast you walk, your quickness about everything, you know, your even decision making. Your priority is, am I a people person or a task-oriented person?
And if you're both, because I feel both so
right.
much.
You do feel both, but what would be your knee-jerk?
Gonna have to go to task.
Okay, so that's...
But it's just a barely.
Just barely.
I mean, I'm like 51,
Yeah.
49.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to a commercial break here very shortly, and when we do, we'll be ready for what is the DISC mean, and how can you relate it to?
Absolutely.
How can you evaluate yourself to be helpful? So
Right.
we've got DISC coming up right after this break.
This right here was over at Bus Andrews. I actually had it parked right there. And it was 08, I believe it was. And they were backing out a big 10-wheeler that they just done some jobs on.
Yeah.
And as it come out, it slid off the little incline and slid right into my truck. Hey, buddy,
So you said,
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
Have you come up with a situation that you couldn't resolve?
I don't think I've had anything that I haven't ever resolved in a way that was good for the customer. Maybe not happy for the customer, but good for the customer.
When there is negativity, how do you handle that? How do you respond?
In a positive way, and never cheat. You always go in and give them all the options, and you don't hold back on them and let them decide what they want to do, and never the cheap option.
And some people have no idea what's next around the corner once they reach Medicare age, parts A and B and what's C and D and a Medicare Advantage plan. Each client is unique. I do what we call fact finding and go over some things and learn about them and get to know them and what they want and what their concerns are, and make sure that they stay in network with their doctors. I'm actually licensed in Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, and Tennessee. So those folks, they can call me and I can get them hooked up with whatever they need as far as health insurance goes.
Johnny Rooster takes on female bodybuilder Terry Williams in a once-in-a-lifetime arm wrestling match. Saturday, March 20th, 4166 West Kearney, 12 noon. Be there.
now is a good time. Look at the screen. Okay, everybody, we're back, and it's so good to have you here on Johnny Rooster Morning Mouth on Axe Media Group. We're here with Carol Throckmorton, and you probably can see that she is with a Next Level Communication LLC.
Yep.
Now, that is a company you started.
Yes.
How long ago?
August of last year, right in the middle of COVID.
So you were wanting to do what with that? What is your goal?
My goal is to help people, number one, find their own value, see the value in others, and then increase their relationships through better communication.
Okay, so increase their relationships, meaning enhance,
Yes.
improve
Yes.
through better communication.
Yes.
The guys on Morning Drive before this show were talking about what not to say to a woman.
Yeah.
So that's what not to do.
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to talk about what we should be doing
Okay.
in a relationship. And of course, there are 4 basic personality types.
Yes.
DISC is your acronym.
Yes.
Go ahead and tell us briefly about those
Okay.
and how they can work together.
Okay. The DISC. D is your dominant personality style. They are fast-paced and task-oriented. Their mantra is get it done. And as you said, that's
That's
your basic, that's your dominant. Get it done, kind of get out of the way, bottom line, cut to the chase, let's go that direction. That's what their need is, to get things done and feel accomplished. So that's one way that you can look at someone. If you can look at their pace and their priority. Are they fast-paced, and are they task-oriented?
I feel like I'm wasting time constantly and wanting to push people to, like, hurry up.
Yes.
Let's get this done.
Yes, absolutely.
And my wife's sitting in the room and she's like, yeah.
She's nodding, yes. So that is one quick way to look at someone else. If you can observe their pace and kind of hone in on where their priorities are, then you can kind of see, oh, I think that person might be that dominant personality style. The eyes are also fast-paced, but they're people-oriented. That is the most important thing to them. They are the influencers, and their mantra is to get appreciated. They need to know that they are appreciated in things that they do. They're all about fun. So as your secondary, you've got both of those going, which can once again create that conflict inside of you, because you want to be on task, you want to get it done, you want to feel accomplished, but you also want to have fun doing it.
Sure.
So that can create conflict, and knowing that is
I would continually be aware this task has to be fun and not boring, and don't slow it down. How's the audio? How's everything doing?
Yes.
Is everybody good?
Yes.
Because I don't want everybody to tune out. I
Right.
want them entertained or enjoying
Yes.
the process.
Yes.
And so I'm not going to drone on and bore
Right.
anybody. I'm ready to go.
Right. And that's kind of key with that dominant personality style. They are kind of chameleons, because the D's...
I have to adjust according to the audience.
But it's all about your bottom line.
Okay.
You know that you have a task set in front of you, and whatever I have to do, if I have to morph into one of those other personalities, you have a tendency to be good at that.
Yep.
But it's still about your bottom line and
That's
your goals
right.
and where you're going. So that's one of the things.
Good.
Once again, the eyes are going to need to have fun. You have to make everything that you do with them needs to be about fun, and they're not detail-oriented people.
Right.
We're great squirrel chasers. I'm a very high eye. We're great squirrel chasers, but we love people. So that's how you can look and try to determine if that person has a dominant I personality style. That would be if they are fast-paced and people-oriented.
Sure,
Okay?
sure.
The third one is the S, and they're the steadies.
Yes.
These are slow-paced, so they do things a little bit more methodically. They talk slower, they walk slower, they're a little bit more comfortable, maybe you could say. But they are also people-oriented. So slow-paced and people-oriented, that's steadiness. These are the people that everyone gravitates to be the listening ear.
Yes.
You trust them. They're very, very trustworthy. Their mantra is to get accepted, not appreciated, but accepted.
Okay.
They also have a tendency to be fence straddlers in their decision making, because they've got to get everyone else's consult before they can make
They
that
wanna
decision.
please people.
They want to please people. They're the peacemakers in
Okay,
life.
sure.
I have my son is that S.
Fits my lovely wife to a T.
There you go, and I would agree with that. Yes. That last one is the C. They're cautious.
There's a lot of folks like that.
Yes, there are. I am married to a very high C. They're the cautious people. These are the detail-oriented people in life. We have to have everything. We've got to have every minute little detail.
I think it's wonderful that they're the last on the list, because they're the most patient to wait for that. I wanted to be first on the list, and I'm a D.
Absolutely.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
Positioned like that. It's just, to me, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know
But
that it is.
the most long-suffering is the last one on the list.
Well, now let's qualify that.
Okay.
The C's really aren't the most long-suffering.
Okay.
For this reason, because they are, and let me back that up, they are slow-paced and task-oriented. So that's that really short, quick assessment that you can do to say, I think that's what this person is. But they are perfectionists to a fault. They're very hard on themselves.
A lot of my kids.
But they're also hard on other people, because they demand perfection out of everyone, including themselves. So to say that they're the most long-suffering, that would fall probably in the S category.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see how that works. And you can see we are all every one of those things.
Yes.
Every one of those things falls in bundles, because once again, we are created by intelligent design, And God made us that way because I truly believe that these are all characteristics and natures of God as well.
One business leader pointed out that perhaps Jesus had a lot of the balance of all four.
Absolutely. He was probably
Really
level
did,
right
and
across.
I can see examples.
Yes, absolutely you can.
Is that a goal of humanity, to improve where you have strengths of all four?
It is.
Why
and
wouldn't you want four?
Yeah, why
four
wouldn't you
strengths,
want?
right?
Yes, exactly.
Even
And
if they're not natural tendencies, they are strengths that you can actually
that's right.
learn.
Absolutely.
Okay.
They
Emotional
are.
intelligence.
They are. Exactly. And that's that recognition part, that self-recognition part. And then how do I put that out there into the world?
I know there's not a lot of time here, even though we have time on this set. It seems to get away. But it looks like to me that we're not finding out more than assessing.
Right.
Is there something more to this than just realizing and how to
Yes,
use it? So
yes.
what is the more advanced version of emotional intelligence?
The more advanced version is when you take the comprehensive test. And there's lots of free things that are out there, but you're not getting a comprehensive study of yourself when you do the free ones. The comprehensive study, you're going to learn that you have, your dominant personalities, and then all the other personality styles or behavior styles fall in line. But you have a natural, and this is part of what you will get in your report. You have a natural, who is your knee-jerk reaction, who I am when I'm by myself, how I am in the world. But then you also have something called an adaptive style. That adaptive style happens when you are at work, when you're out in social situations. Most of the time, those are different. And for you to be able to see that maybe my natural I is very, very, very high, but then when I'm in my social situation, it drops, and something else takes the lead.
I've felt that.
Okay, and what do you feel in the middle of that? Tension? Like what we talked about earlier sometimes?
For example, yesterday I was at the CBC meeting, our business network, and I was very animated. I was very quiet. Then I became very animated because there's something required it, and I was happy to do that. But then when the role shifted and others became animated, I felt my need to just pull back and not compete with that and be annoyed by their animation.
Right.
Which didn't feel fair. I was judging them for being what I was.
Yes.
Which I felt like, why am I doing this?
Yes.
So I just sat there like a turkey and just didn't contribute until I felt like it, which I was pouting in my brain. So I'm being transparent, but I don't understand why I would do that.
Because it's going against...
Because I'm emotionally unintelligent.
I thought you were going to say emotionally unstable.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you're talking about emotional intelligence. I thought.
Well, that strong D personality, which is your dominant, has a tendency also to look at other people, and we all do this. We look at other people through our filters, our perspective. You are looking at them from that D that says, you're not getting it done. When you look at somebody...
You're wasting time with your dumb banter because it's frivolous. That's in my head.
Absolutely. And
which is not fair because it doesn't matter.
Right. And that's where that strong D comes in.
I need to calm it down.
No. You just need to know that about yourself so that you can rein it in. And that's great that you saw that and you can make adjustments. So then what do? You say to yourself, you know what? They're doing it their way according to the gifts that have been given to them, and I need to appreciate that.
Okay.
There's where it goes.
Okay.
And that's, like I said, since you know that and you appreciate your strengths and your gifts that you're given, now you can look at somebody else and say, you know what, that's not the way I would do it, but that's okay because they were given specific gifts to do what they're doing, and I appreciate that.
I believe they're not thinking about things the way I am. I'm jumping ahead and watching it all, and they're just plodding along and happy about it. And I'm like, okay, these are different paced people.
Yes.
They don't analyze everything and run in front of it, look it over and say, not for me, and jump back. Because I don't even wait in line.
No.
If I see a line, I'm like, I don't need that item.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I just say, I don't need it. I'll wait till an inconvenient time for the public. I'll go at a strategy time.
Yeah.
I would shop a 24-hour box store. I'd shop that at odd times sometimes. Avoid holidays and weekends and not care and be good with waiting just because I don't want to wait. I'm willing to wait to not wait.
Yes.
If I'm not in line, I'm happy. If I'm first in line, I'm good. I'm on the highway, I'm good. You see where I'm going.
Yes. But when you look at somebody else, let's take an S or a C,
Oh, yes.
that's willing to wait in line
Of
because
course.
that's okay with them. Do you look at them and you're saying, they're wasting time. Why are they doing it that way? But there again, that's the way they were programmed. That's the way they were created, is to do that. And it takes all of us working in this life to make it work.
So, Carol, we have just a few minutes left, and I'd like to know that there's something out there that people can use that you can offer, and I'd like to make sure it's very clear to the audience. What can you offer the public? Who are you looking for?
Okay, I started using this, and this is being utilized. 70% of all Fortune 500 companies use the DISC system in their hiring and their onboarding, and also in their team building. That's how I got started in this. So as a business owner, someone that has a team, that wants to build a team, that wants a good cohesive team, a functional team, a happy team, that's how I can help, because I can come in, I can do the testing, the comprehensive testing. They will get the report, I will get the report, and then I can follow through on the back end and do the coaching to teach them how this all works. If you are a team builder and you have a certain project that you're working on, you want to make sure that you're putting the right people in the right place so that they're happy and the work gets done like it should be. That's really critical in knowing those styles, those behavior styles. So that's how that can help on a personal level. This is something to me that will help. I'm currently working with some married couples and different things like that, to be able to help them understand each other and how they communicate, the differences, and appreciating the differences in each other. But there again, I can test in all those things. I can test in the DISC and the emotional intelligence, in the motivators, and soon to be the critical thinking, and then I can follow up with the coaching that comes along with that.
So motivators versus critical thinking, what are those?
You have basic 7 motivators within your life that propel you through, and it's teaching you what the biggest motivators are in your life. When you couple that along looking at your behavior style, it can be very, very eye-opening. When I did the testing myself, it really floored me to see what I thought was my biggest motivator was not my biggest motivator at all. And so it's really interesting, and how they fall in line, and how sometimes that can be a good thing and a bad thing, and how that works. So just once again, that self-recognition, which then morphs and moves you into that emotional intelligence part, and testing you to see where you fall. Are you good at self-recognition? There are some people that are not good at self-recognition.
I figured that thing out, I think.
Yes.
I believe that's where I had the most experience.
There are some people that are very, very good at social. They think they're good at social recognition, but they don't have any self-recognition. There's a problem.
So what's the social recognition specifically?
Being able to walk into a group of people and kind of judge where everyone's at that point.
I think I've got a grasp on that, but I'm really starting to feel like I'm having trouble with the other ones in the middle.
And that is a problem. If you score high on the social recognition and score low on the self-recognition, there's a problem. There's an issue.
Could you do self and social recognition well, and others? There's some other aspects that you wouldn't do as well in, possibly.
There could be.
What are the other ones besides social recognition and self?
But that's it. The management part of it. The management part.
Yeah, I think that's where I need the most guidance, is on the management part.
And you would need to know, you've got to do that first in yourself. So you have to have this self-recognition has to be up there, so then you can self-regulate. And now, it's like the governor on a motor vehicle. That's really what that's all about, to keep you from running out of control. That's where the self-management comes. When you've got that down, now we can move it into the...
Well, Mrs. Rooster saying, Johnny, please do that, so you don't... You need to self-regulate. I believe that other people are put in our path for a reason, and we have different personalities specifically designed by our Creator. And there's a reason why we have these different personalities. And it's not to irritate one another.
No, it's not. It's interesting you should bring that up. When I started studying this, I have always wondered, why are there 4 Gospels? And it really hit me. Why did God give 4 different men the same exact story to tell? It's all told in different ways. There's different pieces in each one of them. if you stop to look and study those 4 men, I believe that they are
Do they fit the 4 personalities?
Yes, they all fit the 4
Can
personalities.
we name it before we get out of here? Like we got the dominant.
The dominant to me would probably be Mark.
Okay, because he's just going.
He's going all the time. Also,
speak.
Mark is the shortest of all the Gospels.
Yeah, get her done.
Get her done. Let's
Then
get her
who
done.
would be the influencer of the group?
The influencer, I believe, probably would have been Matthew.
Okay.
He's a lot of times the influencers want to be seen. What was he? He was a tax collector.
Yeah.
He was skimming off the top to live the good life.
Yeah.
So I would say to me,
Okay.
Matthew is probably that.
Then S stands for
Steady.
steady.
And that is John.
John.
One of the things, if you'll notice about John always refers to himself as the disciple whom Jesus loves.
Yeah.
He uses.
He's such a good boy.
He's a sweetie pie.
Yeah.
He's the peacemaker.
Yeah.
He was the only one that was allowed into the inner circle
Right.
during the
He
trial.
was such a nice guy.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And Luke was the doctor.
And he's the detail.
Yeah.
So the C, which would be cautious.
Yes. Yeah.
Very good. And
Yeah.
it's interesting. I believe
It is.
that is kind of gives me goosebumps to think about the 4 Gospels,
Yeah.
4 different personality types
Yeah.
played out in the most amazing
Absolutely.
way.
So we could, and why to me? Because God wanted each and every individual to hear the gospel message in their own language.
And in their own style.
Absolutely.
Which
Absolutely.
really plays out.
Yeah, it does. It does. So there's a lot of studying scripture. There's so many things that this can be applicable when you look at personalities in scripture and being able to look at that, and it just plays out. It just shows how amazing our Creator is and the details that He puts into life.
Carol, tell them how they can get hold of you as we wrap it up.
Alrighty. You can contact me through my email, which is carolT@nextlevelcommunication, singlellc.net. Or you can call my cell phone, that is 417-766-4325. I will soon have my website up and Facebook page, but they are under construction right now. So.
Thanks for being here, Carol, and I'm so glad I didn't have to arm wrestle you today.
Hey, I'm ready. Let's go.
As we're going out, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday with more mischief.
Bye.
Here we go.